guys, welcome back to Sharp Books. So I thought I'd do a summer reading plans video. We all know I am horrible with TBRs. If you're new here, I'm horrible with TBRs. I'm such a mood reader, it's really hard for me to stick to one, so I don't typically make those kind of videos, but I did want to kind of talk about some books that I really want to read this summer, and typically I can kind of do that because it's more like open. So I've got 10 books here today that I have pulled off. The first half of them are off my shelf because I really want to read books either I recently bought or that were already on my TBR shelf, so they're like physical books. And then the second half are just some other books. Some are ebooks, some are new books that I really want to get to this summer. Typically summer is a really good reading time for me. I have more time, there's a lot of pool floating, so hopefully I can get through quite a few of these. If I don't, we'll just move them to the fall TBR, but hopefully I'll get through at least most of these this summer. And I'm actually really excited to once I pulled them all out, it kind of made me more excited for reading. I don't know why, because they were there all along, but somehow making a pile of them made me more excited. So anyways, the first book I want to get to is Nightchaser by Amanda Boucher. You guys know I love her fantasy series, and this is the first book in her, it's like a sci-fi adventure book with romance. All I really know is that it takes place in space, and there is a cocky, I think he's a pilot, and she's really kick-ass, and I love Amanda Boucher's writing. I love her romances, so I'm thinking I'm gonna love this, and the second book of this series just came out, so it's a great time to jump in. The second one I'm actually currently reading, and that is To Have and to Hoax by Martha Waters, so I'm kind of getting a head start on this one, but I wanted to include it because I feel like a lot of people might enjoy this summer. This is historical romance, and it's actually our pick for the Lovely Ladies book club that I do with Avery and Jen, and our live show for this is gonna be on Saturday, June 6th on Jenn's channel, so I'll link that down below. So if you've read it or you want to come chat, come talk to us about the book, you can. I'm just started this, so I don't know too much. All I know so far is that it's about a couple who are already married. They were married when they were young, and I don't know why yet. And but this takes place a few years later, and they've been kind of estranged for 4 or 5 years, and suddenly they're trying to coax the other one home through really funny antics. I was a little bit hesitant on this one at first because sometimes that kind of plot doesn't work for me, but I've heard really good things about it, and it's supposed to be really funny, and just the kind of antics and shenanigans that these two get up to trying to lure the other one home sound really hilarious. So I have high hopes for this, and the cover is just stunning, and I really think it's a super summery cover with this purple, so I'm excited to read this one. Like I said, I just started, but it's good so far. So the next one is Crave by Tracy Wolff. This is an art copy. I was sent this one by the publisher Entangled Teen, so thank you Entangled Teen. And I really need to get to this book. I am super excited. I know, if you can see actually, I started it a while ago and I just got distracted and put it down. It wasn't bad or anything. But this one has really big Twilight vibes for me. Obviously it's original and it's not the same thing, but I feel the nostalgia is there, and so I'm really excited to read this. All I really know about it is that it has vampires. A girl is sent to a kind of boarding school in Alaska, and craziness ensues. There's a romance, there's a forbidden bad boy. I mean, I think this is YA, but I know there is a romance in it, so hopefully I like it. I actually really want to pick this one back up soon because it was really intriguing. So the next one is The Happily Ever After playlist by Abby, is it Jimenez? And I read The Friend Zone this month, a couple weeks ago, and absolutely loved it. So my best friend was very kind and sent me her copy of this one, which is the second book, and I'm super excited to read it because the character in this one you got to know in the first book, and you just really want them to have their happily ever after desperately bad. So I've heard nothing but great things. Some people even like this one better than The Friend Zone, so I'm really excited. Plus there's a dog on the cover wearing headphones. Is that headphones or is that a bow? I think it's a bow. Regardless, it's cute. So I really want to get to this one soon. Plus I need to give her a book back, so it's top priority. And then the last physical book I have is one I feel a lot of us are going to be reading this summer if they haven't already read, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I had to buy this. I love the cover. I've heard literally nothing but great things. Like, I don't think I've seen one negative review, which makes me a little bit concerned that I don't know, that I'm like have too high expectations, but I have faith. This sounds so good. I really don't know too much. I'm pretty sure it's about two people who are opposites and they're both writers and they're like at the beach trying to write, but they're complete like opposites. I want to say one might be like a romance author and one might be like a literary fiction, more serious type. Not that romance is not serious, I'm not saying that, but I think that might be the stereotype that we start with in this book. So anyways, I'm super excited to read this by the pool this summer and like dive in. Okay, so now for a couple more that I don't physically own. The first one is My Darrin Duke by Stacey Reed. This one is a kind of recent historical romance. It came out, I think, back in the fall, so it's been a few months. And I just really wanted to read this one. I love the cover. It's a new author to me, and I'm always excited to try out a new historical romance author. So I for sure want to try this one out. The next one I really want to get to, but it's a little intimidating just on its size, and that is what's it called? The Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I think it's called House of Blood and Earth, if I'm not mistaken, but that first book in that series, I really am dying to get to it. Two of my best friends read it, adored it, like had nothing but good things to say about it, and so I feel like that is a good book to read in the summer. You have a little more time, you can kind of dive in, and in the past I've read some really great fantasies in the summer, so I'm excited to pick that one up. I just can't decide if I want to get the ebook or the physical book. If anyone has an opinion, let me know, because ebook is cheaper and like less heavy to travel with. Like, not that I'm really going many places, but like the pool. But also the physical book is beautiful, so let me know your thoughts. The next one is Because of Miss Bridgerton. So, fun fact, you guys know I love Julia Quinn. I love the Bridgertons. I've read a lot of Julia Quinn's books, but her new series that's currently coming out, which is is it called like Roxby's series? Which is like a prequel to the Bridgertons. So it takes place before them. I've read, I think, 2 of them, but I read them out of order. So now I need to go back and read the first book in that series, which is Because of Miss Bridgerton, and then I want to read the newest book that just came out. So really I just want to wrap up that series and get up to date because it's annoying me that I haven't read it. The next one is Stone Princess by Daphne Perry. This is book 3 in the like Gypsy King series. I can't remember if there's a different name for that series, but it's the 3rd book. Like the first one was Gypsy King, then Riven Knight, and now Stone Princess. I love the first 2. I read them back in the spring, like earlier in the spring, and just so good. And this one I've heard is fantastic. Again, cover's beautiful, so I just really want to get to this one. And the last one is Burn For Me, which is the first book in the Hidden Legacy series by Ilona Andrews. So last summer I read at least half to 3/4 of the Kate Daniel series. I completely dove into that and I loved it, and I've since finished them. So now it is time to go on to the next Ilona Andrews series, and this is the one I'm gonna pick up next. So I need to buy the books for this. I think I'm gonna buy the paperbacks, but I just haven't yet. So I'm really excited. There's only 3 books in this series, I think. And then there's like a spin-off, right? I don't know, but I'm just excited to read more. I've heard nothing but good things, and I'm really excited to see more of Ilona Andrews' writing because it's so good. Alright guys, so those are some of the books that I hope to get to this summer. I'm really excited about reading plans. I've been a bit of a weird place with reading lately. I just haven't felt super, I don't know, into it. But I feel like with this list, I have some really winners here, so I'm excited to kind of be excited for reading, if that makes any sense at all. Let me know what you guys are reading this summer. If any of these are on your list, let me know. If you've read them, let me know. I would love to kind of hear about your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.